What I want to do quickly is bring in my guests so we can talk a little bit about what might be going on in that deliberating room. Still with me, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Bruno and litigation trial attorney Rich Schoenstein remain with me. All right, gentlemen, they're in that deliberating room now. Do you suspect, David, that this is going to take a long time? It seems to me, took 38 minutes to find the guilt phase. I thought that was pretty straightforward. Here, I think there's a little bit more to consider, but still, I'm not sure this is going to take very long. Your thoughts?
I do think that it's going to take longer than the guilt phase that we previously saw. But they're going to, I expect a question coming very quickly. I mean, they've heard some legal instruction that are kind of inconsistent on whether or not the drugs can lead to the disease or defect or rise to the level of the not guilty. They're hearing one thing from the defense, they're hearing another thing from the government, and I wonder, being a layperson, and we know the law in the jurisdiction, I wonder if they're going to struggle with that and get a legal question shortly on that, because it's very confusing, and it's the critical distinction that they need to decide on this penalty phase.
Quickly, I want to just review the questions that this jury must consider. When they go in, they get a sheet with questions on. They have to answer these questions. Let's bring that up. This is what they are going to consider, the questions they have to answer in their deliberations. And it says, at this time, at the time the crime was committed, did the defendant have a mental disease or defect? They have to answer that question. If they answer yes, they go on to question 2. If they answer no, then they're done. She is not going to get away with this as far as saying that she had a mental disease or defect. If they think she did, the second question is, as a result of the mental disease or defect, did the defendant lack substantial capacity either to appreciate the wrongfulness of the conduct or to conform that conduct to the requirements of the law? Now, that's the questions that they have to answer. And so, Rich, let me go to you. Do you think they even get past question 1?
I think they might, because there does appear to be evidence, and the defense is focusing on it a lot in closing argument, that she had bipolar 1 disorder, which I guess could be thought by the jury to be a mental defect. That would answer yes to that question and send you to the next. But here's where the defense theory breaks down. We all know people with bipolar disorder. That's pretty common. You know people, I know people, the jury knows people. People with bipolar disorder live healthy, productive lives. They don't kill their lovers and dismember them. So just having that defect would not get you a yes on the second question. They would have to find something else or some other hook for the second question, and I don't think they're going to find it. And I don't think this deliberation is going to last very long, maybe 39 minutes, but not much longer than that.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think the big problem, David Bruno, is, and I think the prosecution mentioned it very well in their closing argument, that those problems, that bipolar 1 was in effect, or was the reason that she did what she did. Oh yeah, she has it. But as Rich said, a lot of people have it and they don't do this. How did it affect how she acted that day? I don't think there's any evidence on the record suggesting that that's the reason she did it.
Yeah, other than the drugs too. I mean, that's the critical distinction that this jury is going to have to make is, okay, what level did the drugs play into this? This is clearly aberrant behavior. The decapitation, the sex toys, the oral sex. They're going to struggle a little bit there, but if they get into the heart of the law, I think defense loses, as I said before.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it could boil down to just her words. We just saw her there in the interview room. All right, David Bruno, Rich Schoenstein, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Truly appreciate it. Folks, coming up next.